The main mistake is they believe that it's some sort of one-way presentation. So the first thing, they stop talking to you. They have, probably because you can't see it, they have all their notes, perhaps even a full text over there on the right-hand side, and they just read it. They don't pause. It's a one-way transmission. They'll tend to talk in perfect English, no breaking, no sentences being broken up in the middle, no ideas. And as soon as somebody who's watching sees someone who's just talking in a vacuum, clearly not in conversation, but just presenting, particularly if it's only on a screen as opposed to 3D, they'll switch off. However hard they try to listen, they will switch off. So it's got to be as though you're actually talking to someone. What we sometimes do is have somebody on the other side of the screen and we talk to them. And because they're reacting and so on, you're more likely to become conversational. Apart from the ones that everybody has, which we can talk about perhaps later, the problem that the legal profession has is it's very dry, it's very watertight. You have to make sure you say absolutely everything. You can't leave anything out. It has to be in the right order. And so you find someone who is virtually talking as though they are reading a document out. And that switches us off. So what lawyers have got to do, they've got to change the words they use, the abstract, the long, convoluted words that really mean nothing. So for instance, instead of saying something like amenities, you say swimming pools, libraries. And now you suddenly have something for the people to think about. So every time you say something that doesn't cause instant thought, people just brush it aside. They need to think about everything you say. And if you don't let them think, because you're rambling on trying to get as much as you can out, they will eventually just get left behind. And the other thing is, and this is very much a legal thing, they feel they must tell them everything. Well, a good talk is like a good meal. At the end of a good meal, you should still be slightly hungry. At the end of a good talk, you should want to know. You should want to ask questions. Think of the times when you give a talk and they can't think of any questions because you said too much. This is the problem that we have with today's equipment. At the moment, I hope that it looks as though I'm looking at you, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the camera. Now, actually, it's really tempting for me to look down and see you, because I should be talking to you, and there you are. But if I'm looking at you now, what you see is me looking down at your shirt. And people don't talk to your shirt normally, or your shoulder or whatever. They talk to your eyes. So you must, when you're delivering it, particularly when you want to get feedback, like in that silence I just gave you, I looked at you as if I was saying, okay, got that? And I therefore got to be looking at that camera for you to think, wow, he's talking to me. But if I talk to you like this, because that's where I can see your image, it's not, it just looks as though you're waiting for me to say something else, but I'm not actually talking to you. And the cameras sometimes are down there, they're sometimes up there, they're not in the middle. And what we're hoping is that technology is developing at the moment, laptops and desktops, screens, where the camera is in the middle. So you can look at the person you're talking to, and they look as they see you talking to them. The thing that people get wrong is they forget that what they're trying to simulate is a two-way conversation. And in a two-way conversation, the audience has half of the time of that conversation. If you watch someone like Obama giving a very good talk and you measure the amount of time where he's not talking, the silence, it's 50%. I would say most webinars that I watch, because all the person who's doing it is trying to do is to keep going. You're lucky if you get 10% silence. So what you have to do, even though you're bursting to go on with the next thing, you have to understand that your job when you're talking, even though you're on screen, your job is to make the audience think. And they only think when you shut up. When you're talking, they're trying to listen. If you keep talking for too long, they'll eventually stop and do something else, possibly think. So make it as though you're talking and you're watching to see they're nodding, they've got that. And actually, when you have one or two people only on a webinar, you'll get the nods, you'll get the feedback. But you only get it when you're not talking. While you're talking, they're sitting there listening. They won't move, they won't nod. They will when you stop. That's the most important thing, to keep your audience engaged, because you're giving them one half of the conversation. It's theirs.